In this video lecture, we are going to understand purification of viruses with respect to different techniques. Let's see introduction. The main idea behind viral purification is to stop the viruses in a given sample from containing the desired products. Different techniques have been used for the purification of viruses in the food and blood plasma industries, as those products can be harmed by the presence of viral particles. Some of the more common viruses purified by this method are HIV-1, HIV-2 viruses, hepatitis A, B, C, and parvoviruses. Viruses purification is done by according to their size, shape, density, viscosity of the medium, and the rotor speed. Now, first method is the nanofiltration. Now, nanofiltration is a technique where membranes are used, that is, nanomembranes are used for the filtration purpose. Now, here the mechanism is totally based on the diffusion principle, known as diffusion principle. On the basis of diffusion, the virus particles will diffuse from the sample through the filter membrane, and they will come out as a filtrate one. Now, in this technique, enveloped and non-enveloped viruses are purified. This technique is very important for the purification of the very small particles. In this technique, the mostly plasma products are also used for the purification, which contains the viruses such as hepatitis B, C in the early 90s. It is waived as a good method for the separating of any type of viruses in the plasma and helping to prevent them entering in the human stocks. Now let's observe this figure. Now here at the top there is a mixture of bacteria, colloids, suspended particles, viruses, proteins, monovalent ions, and multivalent ions. Now in this mixture there are viruses. Now we have to purify these viruses from that mixture. Then we have to apply pressure. We have to apply pressure here, and due to pressure, what happens? This mixture will flow in this direction. Now here at this position, nanofiltration membranes are fitted. Now the size of nanofiltration membrane is 0.001 microns. Now through this nanofilter, only viruses will come down and they will filtrate. This is known as nanofiltration, where nanofilters are used for the purification of viruses. Next technique is the precipitation. Now we are aware from the precipitation. In this technique, the virus suspension is mixed with the ammonium sulfate around 68 to 88%, and we have to shake it for some time. After some time, the precipitation will happen, and then we can go for the dialysis by using appropriate buffer. Through the dialysis, we can easily purify the viruses. Next technique, density gradient centrifugation. Now this technique is mainly divided into two types: red zonal centrifugation and isopycnic centrifugation. Now first we are going to see what is red zonal centrifugation. Sample is layered as a narrow zone on the top of the density gradient. That under centrifugal force, particles move at different rates depending on their mass, on their size and mass instead of density. As these particles in the band move down through the density medium, zones containing particles of similar size form as the faster sedimenting particles move ahead of the slower ones. Because the density of the particles is greater than the density of the gradient, all particles will eventually form a pellet if centrifuged long enough. Now see, in this technique, mostly viruses are separated on the basis of their rate, and on the basis of their rate they will form the zones in the centrifuge tube after centrifugation. Now due to centrifugal force, what will happen? Whatever the samples we have kept in this centrifuge tube, due to centrifugal force, the samples will flow in the test tube, and they will form layers on the basis of their density gradient or on the basis of their rates. And at the end, we can easily purify these layers from the centrifuge tube. Mostly plastic tube is used in this technique. Next is isopycnic centrifugation. Now here, isopycnic separation or buoyant or equilibrium separation, particles are separated solely on the basis of their density. Now here in this technique, the particles or the viruses totally separated on the basis of their density. That's what this technique is also known as a buoyant centrifugation. Starting with the uniform mixture of a sample and density gradient, that is the A. Under centrifugation force, particles move until their density is the same as the surrounding medium. Now see, Let's see this A figure. Now in this A figure, the sample is added where the small particles are there and larger particles are there, medium sized particles are also there. Now when we mix it in the centrifuge tube, then when we provide the centrifugal force, the base of centrifugal force, they will separate from each other and they will form layer in the centrifuge tube on the basis of their density. Upon centrifugation, particles of a specific density sediment until they reach the point where their density is the same as the gradient medium, that is equilibrium position. The gradient is then said to be isopycnic and the particles separated according to their buoyancy. Now in this technique, what is going to happen after centrifugation? The particles of the same density or the specific density will come at one place and they will prepare one layer. For example, there are 4 particles and two particles has 2 density and 2 particles has 4 density. Okay, then these 2 particles of 2 density will come at one position at one layer and these 4 density particles will come at one layer. So we can separate this 2 and 4 particle density. Since the density of biological particles is sensitive to the osmotic pressure of the gradient, isopycnic separation may vary significantly depending on the gradients may be used. Although a continuous gradient may be more suited for analytical purposes, preparative techniques commonly use a discontinuous gradient in which different techniques are used. So this is known as isopycnic centrifugation, where the viruses are purified on the basis of their density. Now here all sample is placed in centrifuge tube, and after centrifugation the same density particles or same specific density sediment will come at one place and they will prepare their own zones, and that zones we can separate or we can purify from that tube, and the mainly plastic tube is used. Next technique is the chromatography. Now it is useful for the purifying both enveloped and non-enveloped viruses. The level of purification varies from one virus to the next one. The pore size has an impact on how much of the virus is removed, and so does the kind of resin, protein solution and buffer. It is also more difficult to remove smaller viruses fully with this method. Some columns are used and they use calcium phosphate usually at pH 7. Elution rates can be changed by altering the pH level and impacting the phosphate concentration. An example of virus that can be treated with this method is the influenza virus. Purity can be improved by 30 to 100 folds. Further improvement can be made by employing an additional chromatography column which can improve the concentration by 10 to 30 fold. Now this is the chromatography method. Now mostly affinity chromatography is used. Now see here, the affinity ligands are covalently attached to the chromatography support the packed in a column. In the affinity chromatography, mainly covalently ligands are used in the package. Now this is the sample. Now what we have to do, we have to add sample in this one test beaker or test tube, where we have to add sample and the affinity ligands also. Target molecules bind to affinity ligands. Now whatever the target molecules are there, these target molecules will bind to the ligand. For example, see, this is the ligand, and the ligands are in the beaker or in the solution. The target molecules will bind to the ligand if they are covalently specific to each other. When they bind to each other, then they will form a layer. Okay, then they will form a layer, and this layer we can easily purify with the help of elution technique. For the elution, buffers are used. So these are the some techniques which are used for the purification of viruses in lab. Thank you.